Thank you so much, Feroz Bhai. And first of all, I am really thankful to Bangladesh chapter and Anisha for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. And also thankful to COVID, because without COVID, this session wouldn't be possible. But like nobody is thinking about virtual session. Everybody, like, all the chapter leaders thinking about filling in the physical session, and you bring in more motivational leaders and more motivational speakers. So this was opportunity that we all enjoy. And thank you so much for all the participants for joining in, and from Bangladesh and from Pakistan as well. So thank you, Firoz. It's a very important theory that you have explained, and without consistency you cannot create opportunity. Motivation and ability is the most important thing. But again, people, by being consistent, you create that opportunity that makes you that star performer. Otherwise, there's only two ways you can secure any opportunity: either kill that person, I'm sorry, I'm using that word, or being the best in the room. So we go for the easy solution by putting the person out. And because being consistent is the most difficult thing around. So I'll be talking about it. And guys who know me well, that my presentations are not that tech savvy and textual around. We talk, we have conversations, because in every session it is very imperative to know that if we don't talk, we don't understand, we don't self reflect, we will never get out the learning from it. So thank you so much. So without further delay, and thank you so much for the such a humbling introduction. My user interface looks really old, but I'm not that old. But again, thank you so much for bringing that experience into count, so it gives a good impression to the audience. So so with now, the most important thing is, as individuals, as human beings, now everybody of one of us or all of us are very much focused towards success. Why is that? Because nobody would like to look bad, or less valued, whether it's academics, whether it's sports, whether it's profession. It is the most important thing. And when we talk about persistence or consistency, it it relates to us more. Why I say us? I say us as a family, as a fraternity, being part of the project managers family. See, uh, being project manager is not that easy. Like, um, if you are married, you have a miserable life at home. It's just fun. It's for fun. Don't take me wrong. But again, as a project manager in your organization, whether you're working for your organization projects or projects that are from client driven, it is not that easy. So you have to be consistent. Every day is a new day. You have to start over again. I will talk about the generics of consistency or persistent. Then we delved into how to become more successful as a project manager as well. So so now my first question is to everyone. Now please participate, take time. And there are two questions: have you ever failed in your life? Yes or no? And be honest about it. Okay. Secondly, uh, whether it's personal or professional, I want to know. Okay. Now think about it, take some time. And when I say failure, it is something you would really, really want. You want something like, being job, or like getting into a relationship, or or your destiny, something you really wanted in life and you failed. So think about that. Not like, you were not able, you failed in an interview, or you didn't secure a specific percentage or something like that, but something you really desire from the beginning, and you were not able to get that. So I'm giving you 1 minute. Think about it. Personal or professional, both things are account for. Yes, in both. Thank you. So okay, now if you have a pen and paper, if you don't, grab a pen and paper, and then we will make it through how to get out of that situation, or relate to your personal life at the moment, at present, and become more persistent or consistent in the future, so that you can achieve your goal and you become more motivated and not only just successful, but again, a role model for others to become consistent. Okay. So I'm giving you 1 minute. Think about it and see what that failure has brought you and in your life. So my clock starts now. Okay. 5 seconds. You've got 55 seconds. Think about it, and then we'll move forward. Please keep hitting the chat. I want to know, there are 44 people, including me. Have you ever failed? We all have. It's not of any shame or something like that we have to be ashamed of, but we all have failed some way or the other. So you've got 10 more seconds. Yes, in both cases. Okay. Thank you, Umar Farooq. Okay. And time is up. So now I really want you to think the main reason why you have failed. Don't blame the people around you, your parents, somebody else, but the main reason why you were unable to succeed, why you failed. Okay. That and then failed. Okay. Okay, Rabia. Okay, now, so the real reason why did you fail? Because see, it's very easy for us to point finger to something else, to a scenario, to circumstances, to maybe a person, to place, to people, to current environment, and we quit. That is the most easier thing that we can ever do. But again, the main reason that we have failed, or you have failed, or I have failed, is goes much deeper than that. Can't actually identify the reason, but maybe because of myself being extraordinarily available. Okay. Okay, so availability was an issue. Okay, this is something I think this relates to something really personal. So that's very good. And I really want to make some notes. I want you to make some notes so that we can, yes, both disciplines, all cases, because of proper planning, time management. Okay, so time management, oh, that's very good because you have identified that time management was an issue. Very nice. So guys, come on. There are 46 people. I am not witnessing much engagement here. Overconfidence, very nice, very nice, very nice. Prioritizing, Feroz by Zabardast. Not executing what you learn, very nice. Means practice nahi karte what you have learned, or what you have achieved, or what you sometimes we don't practice even what we preach. Yes, exactly. So guys, come on, come on. Lack of clear objective setting, very nice. That means why you're killing it. Very nice. Come on. More people, more people. Think and write. Think and write. Not adapting change. Very nice. This is one of the reasons people and companies fail, right? Sometimes you're very consistent, but you're not adapting change, which is again, being consistent in being adaptive is one thing. And again, yes, lack of timely act. Yes, that's it. Sometimes people get into analysis paralysis. That is also one thing that is very difficult, that we are unable to succeed. So, uh, now, when we get into a tangle or into a situation that or we are near about failure, or we are trying, we thought or we think that we have tried everything. So we get into a natural zone, or we get into in a desperate act that just do something and make it or break it. Now this is where it really matters, because see, in your personal life, in your professional life, whether you're a project manager, program manager, portfolio manager, just being an average person like me, you really want to do something. Like for me, for example, a lot of us, project managers, due to our job lifestyle and late settings and stuff, we put on a lot of weight. And for me, it is very much imperative to get healthy and lose that weight. And I'm trying everything and it's not working out. So what? I tried for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and just about when I think it should have made a difference, in a different a desperate attempt, I did something else, that this is the last attempt I'm trying to do, otherwise I'll give up. Now, being persistent means giving up on that urge, giving up on that search to make or break things. Now, this is very much important to understand that as human, we always get natural urges to do things very quickly. Some of us have habits of being more analytical, take their time, but 90% of people or 95% of people are those people like me who get really frustrated very easily and give up on things. Only 5% people in the world succeed whatever they aim for. So now it is very much important whether we lie in that 95% or in 5%. So when you look around, uh, you in your network, in your neighborhood, in your friend circle, in your family, there are always few people who have achieved greater heights, whether it's health, whether it's financials, whether it's a relationship, or whether it's whatever they aim for. There are people who really you know think about something, that I'm going to achieve this, and they really do. They gave their all. People think they're madman, but they have a routine, they have a consistent routine. For example, for me, one of my relatives, we in subcontinent, there there is a cultural aspect of late arrivals in whether it's wedding or whether it's dinners or what. So he is kind of person who gets up like 4 a.m. in the morning every single day, and he was the first person to reach those dinners or those events specific time, 8:30, and he leaves 9:30 sharp, whether there is somebody around or not. And the whole family is really crossed at him, because why can't he bend his rules? But he is one person who is really phenomenally successful, achieves whatever he want, and he has specific routine for 20 years. So he's really persistent, and that he's transforming the same thing to his next generation. And no matter what, they leave at 9:30. So now coming back to my original question. Now think, what happens if you have done something differently? Would it work? Would it have worked or not? And it have if it has worked, now do you regret doing something differently right now? Okay, the next question is, what happens if you have done differently? I hope everybody is hearing my voice loud and clear. Things become less complex. Okay. People become adaptable to us. Very nice, very nice. Guys, anybody else? Not sure. Okay, that is good also, because you're not sure if something else would have worked out or not. Come on. Anybody else? Might find a better way to do things. Yes. Okay. Very nice. Come on, guys. It will allow us to use our brain to find. I could achieve my goal. Yes. That's very good. Plan B to F. Yes. Very nice. Plan B. Finding options. Yes, that is a very important thing. See, more chance for success. Very nice. Now, success means anything. Success means your aims. Basically, success means getting the objective you really want to. Maybe it's, again, having a healthy lifestyle, having good financial health. Third, a really good job, and maybe a relationship you're really proud of, whatever. But again, it's the objective that means that is equals to success. So now, the most important thing is we are afraid of failures. Every one of us is afraid of failures. Now, that is that really either it stops us for to take any action, or it is it makes us not to experiment more. So and again, in this lifestyle, or it's sometimes it's a cultural aspect as well, that being a part of this cultural background, we are not that permitted to do a lot of experimentation. Okay. And we mostly, sometimes, most of the times, most of us find ourselves leading a life that is being told us, and we really don't flex our wings to get that consistency in our lives. So every one of us, including me, is afraid of failures. Okay. But again, remember one thing: the key to success is failure, and persistence or consistency is the other name of how well you handle failure. For example, most of us, I'm sure, is um, are huge cricket fans, because the nation we belongs to is, cricket is in our genes and our blood. So the current story of Fawad Alam, have you? All of us have been really, praising the way he has come back after 10 years, and the way he's performing right now. So the most important thing is how well he has taken failure. So Feroz Bhai talked about ability. Initially, talked about ability, motivation, and the third thing talk about opportunity. So that guy has had and has the ability to perform at the international level. He has that motivation and hunger in him to be the best. But the third and most important thing was taken away from him when he was in his prime. That was the opportunity. He wasn't given the opportunity for 10 years. Now, the most important thing, now put yourself in his shoes. I don't think, I'm not asking you to think which country he belongs to. Think about a player who has been in his prime and plays fantastic cricket, scoring hundreds by keeping his eyes closed, and you take away his future 10 years. What it has done to his mental state. But for 10 years, that guy keep on scoring runs in the domestic level, consistently and persistently performing, so that the opportunity arise, he was the best in the room. And the same way, when the opportunity arises, you're being persistent, you're consistent. What happens? The way you take on that opportunity, because getting an opportunity is one thing, and in utilizing and performing after getting that opportunity is another. Being consistent means you are ready to take on that opportunity. If you are not, you will never be able to perform at a big level. See, a lot of people, I'm sure, who are involved in teaching project management and PMP exam preparation, and a lot of us have gone through that route. When we are preparing for the exam, we prepare for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, and just even the day before exam, we think we're not prepared, right? And there is an urge to delay our exam. People who have done that are still struggling to pass the exam, but people who have controlled that urge and moved on and appeared in exam by keeping their head cool, have passed the exam, and now they're settled in, and they've got really great opportunities. So the most important thing for success is being consistent and being persistent. If you have the talent, if you have the motivation, but you don't perform consistently, you will be thrown out of the team, and you will be sitting on the bench. You see, sports team are the prime examples, and I will later, because I'm really huge cricket fan, I'm going to give you a lot of cricket examples, and I'm really huge fan of Michael Jordan as well. So I'm going to present some of his examples as well. So then the next thing he says, all of us want something to happen. All of us wish that we have something, we achieve something, we get something, but only few of us make it happen. That is called grit. That is called will. And if you don't have that grit and will in you, all of us have. It's not like, we see only 5% are being blessed, or they are the most talented people around the world. No, they have that in them to 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 follow that routine persistently and consistently. Let me tell you a small story of my grandfather. He passed away in 2011. Okay. In 1985, he was diagnosed with a heart condition where the doctors at that point in time, I was 5 years old, and he told him that he needs a pacemaker and he don't have much time to live, right? And he denied every medical condition and medical opinion and lived another 25 years just by following a routine, an insane routine that we, at the age of 80, none of us can even believe that, right? So that medical condition was identified at the age of 65, and he passed away at the age of 92. Now, if a 90 80 plus years person can follow routine, why can't we? Why can't we persistent? Why can't we consistent? It's just that we don't have in our heads, because being consistent requires a lot of energy, a lot of commitment, and a lot of stamina. And being human, it's very natural to take the easy route and take the easy option. Now, persistence is most often a choice, because you will fall down, you will have injuries, you will have mental scars, you will have physical scars, but you have to move forward. Now, as project managers, project engineers, project team leads, change managers, change makers, we give these sort of titles to us. But again, and do we really justify with these titles? Every single day we came across a difficult situation, we fell down. The second day we fell down, the third day we fell down, and the fourth day we encounter and move forward. Small victory, huge victory, we celebrate it. I think we should celebrate it, but most people don't. But again, and this is how the learning curve goes on. You don't change your profession every single day because you have encountered a very tough stakeholder who is not signing a document to you. You keep on knocking the door, keep on knocking the door, and one fine day he listens to you while you are there, and you take that opportunity and make a connection and move forward, and you take him on board. So it's most often a choice. If you really want to go the hard way, you have to give it your all. If you don't want to, then again, it's just a matter of pulling the plug and take the easy route. So okay, now the most important thing, when you have the motivation, when you have the ability, there's one more thing that along with the opportunity, that is called self-belief. Now, you have all the knowledge in the world, you have all the talent in the world, you have all the time in the world, and also you have all the motivation in the world. But if you believe you won't be able to do it, believe me, you will never, never. Why? Because that self-belief is the fourth ingredient that Firoz Bhai talked about. No matter what, okay, so no matter what, if you have that belief and if you have the motivation, by working hard, you can create that ability as well. Because history is full of such instances where not so much talented people have beaten the talented people. And I will cover that example later on. Now, the most important thing is people around you. will suck that self-belief out of you. How many of times we have heard, आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, you will fail, you won't make it, this company won't make it, they don't have it in them. But those bunch of individuals, that one individual, you prove them wrong. Even your family members wrong that you have it in you. For example, you belong to somebody who are all surrounded by 9 to 5 people, and you really want to be an entrepreneur. And your father step up to you and said, "Son, you don't have it in you. Look around. तमाम लोग, all of us are job oriented people. कैसे तुम्हें तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है." And at that precise moment, if there are two options, one, you think you are one of them and prove them right. The other is you're not one of them and prove them wrong. So again, that requires consistency and persistence to make a belief, a self belief, and make them wrong, prove them wrong. Sorry, and that is a choice that you need to make. So again, if you look around, all the victories, whether it's done in the battlefield or on the sports field or in an arena or on a conference room table, it's again persistence, perseverance. How much of the time we have come across a nutty a boss who does not think that we are right, and every time he presents something, he feels that we are wrong. How many of times we encountered that? How many of times we failed in negotiations? How many of times we failed in presenting an idea in front of the board of directors? But again, if you keep on persisting with your thought, by working smart, you will get that victory you deserve. Okay. All I hear the maximum time is you are so young. Yes, that's it. See, now this is one thing in our society, in our part of the world. Now, if you don't have gray hairs or if you are not 50 years old, you're not considered as a leader. First of, by the way, I forgot. I'm really happy and really, I feel overwhelmed to see it with 4 women in PMI Bangladesh chapter. Extremely happy to see that diversity inclusion with Anisha leading the way, and the growth rate is phenomenal. So I'm sorry I forgot that in the beginning, and I started right away my presentation. But again, yes, it is. See, a lot of us, not only hear that, but also I would say experience that the older gang never accepts you, because either you have made your way too quickly to the top. How can do that? Because, or they think you don't have it in you because you are just within your 30s or in your late 20s. Now, to all people, I hear you're equal to your experience. Okay, so now to all people, remember one thing: age cannot replace or your passion, your ability, and the most important thing, your attitude and willingness to move forward, and the magnitude of leadership or the quantum of leadership that you have cannot be compared to age. I've seen people 60 plus and they are just miserable. And I've seen people who are in their early 20s and they're just phenomenal. They are role model. When they come in the room, they brighten the room. People follow them. Now, this is you really want to be. Now, if you really want to be that person, so you have to prove other people wrong, and there is always a struggling period that you will encounter. Maybe it's 6 months, 8 months, 20 months, or whatever. But you will go through it, because the best thing we all do is being judgmental. We all analyze our failures with other people's success. This is the natural thing that comes to us now, because and being females and being is double hard, or is doubly challenging, because people look around from a perspective that they label you that you will fail definitely, but it's not the case. So all people, whether male or females, you're destined for greater heights. Just be consistent, just be persistent. Okay. So now the next part, and the next I want to say is belief. You have to have it in you, no matter what. Please. Now, जब तक आप ये सोचेंगे नहीं कि आप वो कर सकते हैं, you will never be able to do that. So if you have that ability, so think you have that ability. If you are the most smartest person around, visually and mentally, think you are the smartest person around, and then act like one. It's not just you only need to think about it, you need to demonstrate that as well. So now that self-belief will give you that energy every single day to move forward, even though you are bruised, even though you're scarred, even though you are tired, even though you're out of energy, even though you're deprived of sleep, but it will give you that energy to move forward. So another person's story, I did my PMP in the year 2010. And right afterwards, I joined my chapter, Karachi chapter, which was obviously a small chapter again at that time. And my ability was like, I really, my passion is about coaching, and I really want to coach people. And the initial motivation was to help people to pass the PMP exam. And for 2 years, I struggled as a new trainer, because there were only few trainers around, and it was not, I was not given that opportunity. And there were very few people who think that I can do something. And from 2011 2013, it was very difficult for me. In my first workshop, there were only 5 people. I was paid 12 months later a very small amount. And developing this course content was such difficult thing for me that one fine day I started crying. It was like 12 p.m. 12 a.m. in the morning. And what I do is, I have a very tough job at that time, so I usually allocated my weekends for this course development thing. And during the weekdays, obviously job pressures, due to job pressures, I was not able to work on my course development, content development. So it was like 2 months, and I was really struggling. And my I had no life, no social life, nothing. And it keeps on banging on my head that I'm going to fail, and it's not that perfect, and people going to say that you're not a good coach or a good trainer. And I started crying. And I started crying, and I said, I'm going to give it up, because it's not worth the time and energy and effort, because now I'm being so consumed, and I'm so deprived of sleep, and really exhausted, that it's not worth doing it. It's for another month and a half. So my mentor, who was the president at that time, you know, uh, he told me, in the because I was shadowing him as a trainer as well. So he told me that I see the brightest trainer in you, but it is you. It should be it's you who should see it, that the brightest trainer as well. From that point onward, that belief that somebody believes in my ability gives me 4 times the energy I had. And I really worked hard, and within 2 years, I was really making good progress. And after 10 years, alhamdulillah, people around the globe know me. They call me for their project management challenges, for their PMO challenges, or whatever. But if I would have given up at that time, I would not be presenting, and not be interacting, or not be talking to you, and not been, given such a humble introduction by Feroz bhai. I would be somebody who started something and failed at something. So now this is very much important. Now I can relate to it. If I can do it, an ordinary person, you all are blessed with tremendous potential. Now you see this picture. This is one of my favorite matches. I am a great cricket fanatic. 2005, Bangladesh beats Australia. Ashraful made a century, and I love that guy, and I love that match. That self-belief in your team, in our team, in cricket team, that shook the world by beating the mighty Australians. They are considered invincible in early 2000. Teams would have lost matches even before coming to the uh, stadium or cricket ground. That was only one victory, but that belief that we can beat the best, and we have the ability in us, we have the motivation. They created the opportunity for them. See, now they are on a rise. Cricket in Bangladesh has come a long way. You've got superstar like Ashraful, you've got superstar like Shakib, you've got uh, Mushrafi Murtaza, who people follow like mad, madly and crazily. Now that is the belief that you can overpower the massive Australians or somebody who has been the world champs for like three consecutive times. And at the recently concluded 2019 World Cup, I follow all of these things, and the way the match was won was amazing. Forget the drama afterwards or pre-match, whatever. That body language, that motivation, that we want to be the best. We want to prove everybody wrong. That has given your team to win that World Cup, under 19 World Cup, by beating one of the most strongest team in our neighbors. They played fantastic cricket throughout the tournament, but you guys outplayed them in the final by playing massively best cricket on that particular day. So you have both the teams have the ability, the motivation, but again, the self-belief part is very much important. So how to increase your level of persistence? Now, the most important thing, why are we doing that? We all need to understand that there's one thing that we need that objective to be fulfilled. Get the clutter around that why away. Once you are able to do that, you will definitely have the clear picture of your why, and you have the hindsight. You can set your hindsight on your objective clearly. There will always be responsibilities, there will always be noise, there will always be other things that will distract you. But again, once you clarify your why, that will give you the motivation to wake up every single day at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning and to go for a run, or to come back after a hard day of work and open your PMP book and start preparing for the exam because you've taken a date. Then map out the possibilities. What are the possibilities out there for you and for you to succeed? Once you map out the possibilities, rate them and give your best. And the third thing is take action. Without action, nothing is converted into success. बड़े बड़े सोचते रह गए, but again, they have the talent, they have the motivation, they have the opportunity, but they never took action. Now, the most important thing is always take action. And again, never fear the failure. To all leaders, to new leaders, to old leaders, to wannabe leaders, never fear the failure. If you fail, it will give you experience. People will judge you in any way. I've seen people even in funeral, and they're talking about the guy who's passed away, like judging him or her. Now, if that is the case, then why fear those people? We are being judged in any case. To give your best, whether it's your office, whether it's your home, whether it's personal life, professional life, relationship, whatever, give your best. I learned from somebody very close to me that whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say it before you regret it, or do it before you regret it. Because that's how life is. If you always talk about or worry about other people judgments of you being judged or maybe other people being judged, we will never be able to succeed. We will not be able to follow our heart or passion or whatever consistently or persistently. That is the matter. Okay. 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 So thank you so much, Mirza Tanveer. Okay. So now take control. Take control of whatever you do, your life, your profession, your project. When you talk about project management, I know we've got 5 more minutes left, so I'm going to wrap that up quickly. But again, there are a lot of distractions, there are a lot of stakeholders who will create that noise, who will jump in to take control. But again, you are the one as a project manager, project program manager, who will always need to take control of your project, of that one CRF or one change request, or that stakeholder, or that deliverable, or that launch date, or that testing outcome. You have to take control. Now, the couple of things that uh, uh, being consistent means fairness, quality, honesty, team spirit. As a team, it's very important. Again, together performing consistently or persistently as a team is much more important. Now, that is the most important thing that we all need to realize and understand, that every one of us in the team, structured team, and what is teamwork? Perform consistently. That is very much important. Okay. So, and most important, trust yourself. Self belief is one thing. Trusting your own self is another thing. Be a boss. Why? Because see, if you don't trust yourself, don't judge your judgment, gut feeling, or the ability, the world will definitely label you or doubt your ability or doubt you as a person or individual. Doesn't make a difference. Think about the outcome. I'm sure a lot of people have read the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Mr. Kavi. So there's one thing that always being termed the one of the qualities, or one of the basic theme of the book is end in mind. So again, keep the end in mind, and again, perform consistently, persistently, and most importantly, adapt. So if you can change your training routine, if you can change your routine, and if you can change yourself accordingly to achieve a goal, no one will ever be able to stop you. Whether it's your health, whether it's your financial destiny, whether it's your relationship or love life or whatever, you need to move forward and be adaptable to the circumstances. That is the most important thing. So the last thing is check your strengths and weaknesses. Now, sometimes around it is something not all of us or most of us do, because see, we follow the herd. If somebody is being successful, if somebody is getting an A in particular subject, somebody enrolling in MBA, most of us will try to follow him or her, because either it's our idols, or it's something that 90% of the people are doing. But again, everyone is born differently, right? So you need to understand that your strength might be different than my strength. My weakness will be different than your strength. And being consistent means focusing your strength more and improving upon your weaknesses. Now, this is also something that we need to understand. Okay, so these are the few things that we need to look at, and we need to ensure before, if we really want to be successful in life. So with last two quotes, I'm going to close now. Martin Luther King, a very famous person. He says, if you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving. That's moving forward means be consistent. Whatever you do, move forward. And again, my favorite, last but not the least, Michael Jordan again. Quitting is very easy because moving forward is very difficult. But once you quit, it becomes a habit. And it is. When I was young, I want to be a pilot. Then I grew up, I want to be a fast bowler. Then I grew up, I want to be, a businessman. And then I grew up again. I am in, मतलब, ठीक है मैं बड़ा हो गया लेकिन मैं फिर कुछ बनना चाहता था. And every time I was start, I quit because when I want to be a pilot, my mother says, you're the only son. I don't want you to go into army. I quit. When I want to be a sports person, my parents said that it's not at that time. I mean, 20 years ago, it was not considered good to be a sport person. You were assumed weak in studies and not in good company. I could again. But when I started my project management career as a coach, as a trainer, there's a lot of demotivation. There was a lot of labeling. There was a lot of uh, demotivation. But I never quit, because I thought that the most important thing for me, doesn't make a difference I made money or not, but my objective is to help people. If I am able to help only even one people, that I'm successful. So I never quit, and I expect the same from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fahad, for delivering your very thoughtful speech. Especially, I love your two compliments: persistently consistent and self-belief. Amazing word, and
Thank you.
this really inspired me. And this is, we know all things what you have taught, but the dimension, the context you are relating is amazing. And I guess many people are taking too many trainings nowadays. They are motivated, they get motivated for the time being, but after some time they lose their motivation somehow, some way. But you say the self belief, it cannot be lose, it cannot be lost. If I have the self belief, and if I maintain the persistently consistency, then really the success can come to my area, my arena. If we look at the success story of Elon Musk, the space program, if we look at the Steve Jobs, his innovation, his get back to his own company. If you look at Jack Ma for his dream project, Alibaba, he used e-commerce. Your stories, your total thoughts makes sense. So I guess we all take the gist of this whole session. And once again, thank you very much, Fahad Ahmed, Fahad Bhai.
Thank you.
And we are running out of time, but if we have some question, one or two, we can discuss, right?
Firuz bhai, just a minute, I will interrupt you. So let all the participants turn on their videos so we can have a virtual movement. It's
Okay,
some.
okay.
मैं भी पार्टी करूं वैसे.
Let's solve it.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm requesting all the participants to please, if possible, then yes, show your video so you can see your faces.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forget. Guys, I'm available on Facebook and on LinkedIn. If anybody wants to reach out to me for any of their professional things and personal things, whatever they want to, I'm always available. So you can reach out to me. Yes. So please turn on your cameras. मैं बहुत देर से सांस नहीं रोक सकता हूँ यार. Please.
So you can have a good smile. Done.
Okay, I've done taking. So, Rabia, would you like to say something to our chapter members or the audience over here?
Thank you so much, Anisha. A very warm welcome. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Rabia Salim. Thank you for introducing me, Anisha, and giving me a special recognition here on the platform. I'm the EVP of PMI Karachi, Pakistan chapter, and Fahad, the session was really brilliant. This was really a very a great key to take forward, like, especially being the volunteer for PMI community. And for the Bangladesh chapter, all the very best for all the sessions and the great things that you are doing under the leadership, obviously, like, of your great president. So all the best for all your future, sessions and workshops, or all your activities that you will be doing. And at the very end, we at Karachi, Pakistan chapter are here for anything and everything that we can do together collaboratively as one PMI, one family, and one team. So thank you so much.
Yes. And also to be added, Rabia and Fahad both are working with PMI EF. So we are also trying to work with the EF, and we can do some actually collaboration as well, because we have been working with EF for a long time. So yeah.
Oh, we would love to. We really love to collaborate with people and, like, taking the PMI EF things forward. It's really very near and dear to our, like, our hearts, myself and Fahad. Fahad is my mentor. And just like, one small thing, he was talking about persistence, consistency, motivation, etc. So who I am today in PMI, I guess he was the push and the key for me to be persistent on this journey, especially for PMIF itself, where we have taken, like, the chapter today. So yes, we are all here to collaborate for PMIF, and we'll definitely do good things together.
Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you so much. I think I know some faces over here. So if you have any questions, you may ask to Fahad right now, or you can forward us to us. We'll forward it to Fahad at any time. So if you have any question, you can raise your hand and we can unmute and talk. Okay, so
I will take a.
I'll ask one question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So I guess that would be the only question for Fahad. In PMI, especially, like, during this entire year, we all have gone with COVID and, like, very traumatized time where we are still, like, in some sort of a lockdown and, like, extra pressure as work from home. So how we can be persistent in the volunteer roles for PMI and taking the passion forward as one team, not only for our community here in Karachi, but, like, collaboratively with other chapters and, like, other regions, etc. So how we can be persistent emotionally and, like, taking all the different fields, especially as a volunteer in PMI.
Thank you. Very nice question. One thing that you need to understand that we have done it previously and we keep on doing is creating connections. So, keep on knocking the doors of the people who are very close to you, and make sure that you create a community, virtual community, like, we are always doing, and make sure that, you understand other people's problems and then help them to solve those problems, maybe mental, physical, or emotional, whatever. And bit by bit, you will see that everybody, will get into that habit and get into a stream, and it will create a very powerful impact.
yes, I absolutely agree. Like one team can do some amazing job, like one person can do that. So like working together can do some really good changes that we absolutely do. Yeah. So making good connection, and now the world is getting smaller because of COVID. So you see, like before COVID in the VC, you couldn't even think of like having a session like this. So now it's become like if you think like someone knows better than you, or you know better than someone, then try to help them. So obviously, like knowledge is for sharing, the experience is for sharing, not to keep it in yourself. So thank you so much, Rabia, for actually giving us this question. So anyone else would like to have anything?
Yeah, I see. I see Mr. Zakir Hussain is raised his hand. So yeah, please go forward.
Hi, I am Zakir from Bangladesh. Thanks, Fahad Bhai, for a nice session, giving us some valuable knowledge and pointing out some important things about project management and related. Yeah, and also I think Bangladesh PMI community is increasing day by day. Thanks for conducting this session, and hopefully this kind of session will be continuing in future. Thanks Fahad bhai.
You're welcome.
Okay, Rifal Bhai, anything
Uh,
more?
No, I don't think so. I have a much, but I just want to ask something to Fahad. Is actually how to revitalize yourself after the failure. So just
So
tips.
okay, so in 2006, I appeared in. All of us know that is Certified Information Security Exam, CISA. Okay, and I was really confident, and I was thinking that I'm gonna ace it, and then I'm going to start a career in information auditing, and I'm going to Dubai and living there, a very colorful life, and all my plans were set. And the result came, I failed by 1%. And what it did to me was it it you know I was like, somebody has thrown me from the top of the 10th building to the ground, and all my bones are broken, and I have nowhere to go. So what I did was, like, it took me 2 years to overcome that fear of failure, and then I started uh, preparation for PMP exam in 2008. And how I revitalized myself by looking out to the people who have passed the exam and gotten that status, not only the happiness factor, but also the best job opportunity in the market out there was they secured that. So I shifted my focus from being beaten to somebody who can achieve that as well. And when and see, the most last bit of motivating part was that my application was about to expire after 1 day, and due to that failure, I scheduled my exam on just the second last day of that 1 year application period, and I passed the exam. So the most important part is when I passed the exam, so I was really happy, and that I came out that mental barrier of being called a failure or being a loser. So that really enforced that self-belief in me, and from that moment onward, I think failure, to ponder failure for more than 3 days, is just a waste of time. Move forward, move forward, move forward.
Thank you, Fahad. Just a last question, one of our member, Mr. Umar Farooq. Please go on. We have a very shortage of time, so please keep it small and brief. Sorry,
Yes.
bhai, we could not hear you. You have to unmute yourself or.
Sorry,
Uh,
sorry, sorry, sorry. I was on mute. Thank you, Fahad Bhai, for this wonderful session. I just want to hear one suggestion from you. Just I want to present a case here. Say I have the ability and I have the motivation and I am doing persistently. I'm very persistently consistent, but I don't have the opportunity. Say if I put an example like a very good software engineer in war hit Syria. He's very capable, he's very motivated, and he's doing whatever is to reach the success. But he's not getting the opportunity because he Syria, there is no opportunity there. So in these cases, that's an example. But what I want to say, if I don't have I'm not getting the opportunity, but should I wait for the opportunity or should I create the opportunity by myself? The
Yeah, I
people
think.
who is in Syria, should he wait for the environment to be created in Syria, or should he fly to America or the Silicon Valley, whatever? So, what's your thought here? I want to hear from you.
Okay, so there are two type of things. One is, their circle of impact, and their circle of uh, concern. Okay. So, and when on individual level, there's always a circle where we can make impact. Okay. But the thing you're talking about is not only one person's job, it's collectively. See, there's always a revolution around the world. Even see America and other countries who get revolutionized, and even our country as well. We got freedom and something like that. So it's not just one person's job. So if you really want to succeed and create that opportunity on a personal level, you should go migrate to another country and start a new life as quick as possible. But if you really believe in changing the fortunes of your countrymen, then create that fraternity who can change it collectively. The like-minded people, right? So because it is out of your circle of impact, it is circle of concern, and only individual cannot change the destiny or future of nations. Collectively, people will, because then that circle of impact will grow, right? Like just Ravi just told us that by talking, creating that emotional circle. If you have only one person around you to talk to, if he or she is occupied, you are stranded. But you've got 5 people to talk to when you're in trouble, then you will always find somebody to get a solution to your problem, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's a relationship problem, right? Whatever. So on a large scale, individuals collectively will create that opportunity. Not one person can do it. I hope you got my answer.
Yeah, that's very that's very concise answer. Thank you, Fahad bhai.
Thank you.
So I think we are at the end of our session. So stay connected for more programs like this in future. So extremely thankful to Mr. Fahad Ahmed to share his experience and knowledges. So let's wish that we will arrange this kind of webinar in every month for our members, to collect their PDUs and others, and we will continue to share our findings to you as well. So let's thank you very much. Thank you for tonight.